On February 23rd, 2021, I released an interactive survey on my personal Instagram account, requesting the teenagers who follow me to send in their average amount of time spent on social media applications in a week. The answers varied from 1.4 hours to 100 hours a week, with an added total of 1,593.2 hours of social media screen time across the 85 responders. The average per week came out to be 18.7, making the daily average 2.7 hours spent on only social media. I followed this request with a poll on whether or not my followers felt as if their exposure to social media negatively affected their mental health. With 198 people voting yes and 70 people voting no, the percentage of those who experienced negative mental health effects was 74%. The survey and poll that I posted proves the significance of the issue between a degradation in mental health as a result of social media use in teenagers. According to the Pew Research Center, over 72% of the public uses some form of social media. And according to the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, 90% of teens between the ages of 13 and 17 have used social media. I implore everyone here to reduce their time spent on social media. I'm not requesting anyone to stop, but to take a moment to reflect on their social media usage and their mental health as a result of this usage. Today, I will first go over the issues between poor mental health and social media in teenagers in the United States. I will then continue to explain the root causes of the problem and explore a final solution or a few final solutions that I hope you, the audience, can contribute to. Social media comes in several forms. I'm sure most of you have heard of Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hubs to showcase everything from political opinions to tutorials on woodworking. And Caroline Miller's article, Does Social Media Cause Depression? From the Child Mind Institute, a 2017 study taken from 500,000 8th to 12th graders, showed an increase in depressive symptoms from 2010 to 2015. While the statistic alone seems unrelated to social media usage, a statement from San Diego State University psychologist Jean Twenge proves the opposite. According to Twenge, the rise in depressive symptoms correlates with smartphone adoption during that period, even when matched year by year. This may all sound like a bunch of numbers on paper with no real meaning, so let me just put it into perspective. Ian Russell, the father of 14-year-old Molly, believed that social media was one of the root causes of her suicide. According to CBS News, Russell believed that social media normalized Molly's feelings of depression, leading to Molly's sense of self-worthlessness at the end of her life. Another case between two teenage girls explores their journey through depression and eating disorders. In an article collaboration with ABC News, best friends Jennifer Leonfort and Gabby Bennett tell their experience with bulimia and with their attempted suicides after long periods of self-loathing, all due to social media. And the list goes on. Some experts believe that social media is not a viable cause for depression. According to the PCC, it is only tempting to scapegoat or put the blame directly onto social media, without considering other factors that lead to the depressive state of mind. While other factors might often be the main cause of social media, the statistics do not lie. A study taken by JAMA Psychiatry in 2019 stated that teens in the US who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media may be at a heightened risk for mental health issues. Your next question might be, well, who is to blame for social media negativity? Well, I've explained that as well. The increased popularity of social media applications among teenagers and young adults has made quite a presence in mental health statistics. McLean Hospital psychologist Jacqueline Sperling refers to this era as the digital age of vulnerability, emphasizing the fact that teenagers get a case of FOMO, or the fear of missing out. She believes that social media makes it hard for teens to tell what's real and what isn't, which makes it hard for teens for their physical and emotional stability. The existence of social media is not inherently bad. It was created to connect people across the world and to keep in touch with friends and family. However, the way social media is executed makes all the difference. While someone can place blame on the rise of technology, the irresponsibility of the app creators, the lack of restrictions, or the widespread nature of social media, it is difficult to pinpoint exactly where it starts. It is important to remember that these issues can spur from one wrong comment or post, so it is in the eye of the beholder to decide. Like every problem, there's a solution to the widespread toxicity stemming from social media usage in teenagers. It's important to note the effects of social media is having on you. Is the constant push for a specific body type the reason for your depression? Or is it this consistent fear that people are consistently leaving you out of fun events? Depending on the nature of the negative mental health effects, the solution varies. For a lot of the responsibility can fall onto the parents and guardians of the teenager. While this is not necessarily something you guys can change, according to Center for Research, parents developing healthy bonds of trust with their teenager can make communication much easier, meaning that the teenager is more likely to vocalize when they have a problem. Parents are also a more important part of the puzzle in terms of their own actions. In order for a teenager to restrict their usage, the parents should also demonstrate self-control, according to the Child Mind Institute. Small solutions such as turning notifications off, restricting screen time through app-based regulations, keeping the phone away during sleeping hours, and setting personal boundaries and goals for staying away from social media can really help. In conclusion, it is important to remember that social media is not inherently bad and is all up on the user manages it. There's a clear correlation between social media usage and depressive symptoms, and several stories to back up the claims made by large numbers of psychologists. By changing habits and making an effort to understand the solution in the situations, the negative effects of social media can be solved. Again, look back at your screen time, your hours, and your mental health. Take some time to reflect on how social media has affected you, and consider following some of the steps mentioned. I had many people private message me on how social media affected their lives after posting the 2 surveys. Some responded with strong responses on how social media changed their lives for the worst, and others responded with stories of personal growth through social media. Let's keep this statistics in mind and help decrease the number of teens suffering from mental health issues due to social media. Thank you.